All right, everybody, get your whiteboard ready because we are starting up some multiplication on your whiteboard. This is a fill in the blank. So you could write out this whole thing or just what's going on in the blank right here. So fill in the blanks. 8 times 14 is the same as times 10 in parentheses plus 8 times 4. Write your thought in 5. All right, coming together. 8 times 14 was split up into 2 parts. And those 2 parts are existing actually right here. This number is 2 digits. So they took this one and said, well, that's really 10. And this 4 is just 4. So instead of multiplying 8 by the whole thing, 14, we split it up, decompose the 14 to make it simpler. So it's really the same thing as doing times 10. And what is that? Here it is. 8. And the 8 was right here. So 8 of the 14s is the same as 8 of the 10s plus 8 of the 4s. Perfect. Okay, we could split that up and make it simpler. And that's easier to multiply because here I have a multiple of 10 and the rest. Okay, let's try one more over here. What is this one going to be? So on the whiteboard, erase, start over. And now we have something that looks like 16 times 40. And they're saying that is the same thing as saying 10 times 40. So you're looking over here like, okay, where would they get that? Plus, what else times 40? Write your thought in 5. All right, coming together. So this 40 factor stayed the same. So what did they end up splitting up? This factor, the 16. And the 1 is worth 10. And the 6 is worth, oh gosh, 6. So 16 times 40 is the same thing as just doing 10 times 40 plus 6 times 40. And man, we have lots of multiples of 10 there that we could multiply through and find the answer. All right? Okay, erase that board. I'm going to have you write a situation. Yesterday was about chairs. Today, here it is. Oh man, it's not chairs today. There is a story behind this picture. And the story goes with this multiplication sentence, expression, 6 times 23. So what do you think is happening if we end up doing 6 times 23? Write that story about the toy cars on your board that would have something to do with 6 times 23 and share it out. So I'm going to keep going. All right, here was the situation. It was about Annie and her brother Ben. And they're lining up. Guess what they're lining up? All their toy cars. You might be like, that is a lot of toy cars. It is. And actually at my house, I have little kids and we have a lot of toy cars. Annie and her brother Ben have a lot too. And they're lining them up. They're planning to make 6 rows with 23 cars in each row. Wow. Yep, that's a lot of cars. That's not just 23 cars. That's 6 rows of 23 cars in each row. Here's the question. What is it going to be? How many toy cars do they have in all? They don't just have 23. They don't just have double 23. They have 6 rows of 23. And today, to solve that, to solve our 6 times 23, our 6 rows of 23, we're going to use a ratio table. So I set it up horizontally You might be used to seeing it vertically, but you'll also see it this way. So we might as well practice it this way. So we want 6 groups of 23. Well, I know if I have one group of 23 or one row of cars, that would be 23 cars. And now I'm trying at the end to get to 6, okay? So I'm trying to get to 6. Do I have to go every single one to get there? Probably not. So from 1, I'm going to go to 2. I'm going to step it up to 2. Well, if I go to 2 rows, that'd be 23 in each row. So I need to double the 23. And if I double the 23, I would be at 46 cars. Wow. All right, I'm trying to make it to 6. Should I go to 3 next? I could. You could totally go to 3. But actually, I'm going to go to 4 because I like doubling. So I'm going to say, all right, if I know 2 rows, then I can get 4 rows. If 2 rows is 46, so that's 2 rows of cars, that's 46. I need another 2 rows of cars to be a total of 4. Well, that's another 46. So if I add my 46 and my 46 together, I'm not going to be at 80. I'll actually be at 90 something. I'll be at 92. Wow, a lot of cars. Lot of cars. Okay, from here, I'm trying to get to 6. Should I double again? Well, if I double again, I'm going to be at 8. That'd be too much. So is there a way, instead of just going to 5, that I can hop to a 6? Pause video, talk about it, if someone knows a way. Because there is a way. There is a way. I have 4 rows, but now I just need how many more rows to get to 6? I need 2 more rows. Well, guess what? I know 2 more rows. It's right here. 2 more rows is 46 cars. So from this step, I'm just going to add on 2 more rows of cars. Now this is rows we're talking about right here. And if I add on 2 more rows of cars, that's not just adding 2 cars. That's adding this number right here, 46. And then I'll be at my 6 rows, and I'll get a total of a lot. So 92 and 46 more. I'm going to be at 138 cars. Wow. Annie and her brother Ben have a lot of cars. Now, our house, we have a lot of cars, but I don't think we actually have that much. Now I'm going to have to count them and see if I can make 6 rows of 23 cars at our house. All right, today you are playing the teacher. You're playing that game. You guys are going to see what the teacher scores. So you're going to work along with her. And teacher's going to spin. I'll take the first spin for the teachers. All right? So here I go. Spinning for the teachers. A 5 and a 13. 5 and a 13. And today, instead of with the open arrays and the algorithm, we're going to just solve them with the ratio table. So one group of what? Well, we want 5 groups of 13. So I'm going to do one group of 13 is 13. And I need to get to 5. So how can I get to 5? All right. So teacher is going to work that through. You're going to work that through. And you're going to go 3 rounds today, teacher. Okay? And the kids are going to be following along. And they're going to be practicing it on their paper. And then, you guys, adding up your 3 rounds from yesterday. Teacher's adding up their 3 rounds. And then, moment of truth. You're going to roll that more or less dice. And see who won the spin and multiply. All right? I bet it will be, I hope, the teachers. Okay? Go, teachers, go. Yes.